The crystal glass trembled slightly as the billionaire CEO lifted it from the table. He didn't notice, but she did. And in that single quiet moment, when the restaurant buzzed with laughter, clinking plates and soft music, a poor waitress made a choice that would change 2 lives forever. She said nothing. She simply switched the glass. Ethan Blackwood was a man the world feared, admired, and whispered about. At 42, he was the CEO of Blackwood International, a global empire spanning pharmaceuticals, technology, and private healthcare. Newspapers called him the untouchable billionaire. Employees called him Sir. Enemies called him dangerous. But no one called him friend. Since the mysterious death of his father years ago, Ethan trusted no one fully. Not board members. Not advisors. Not even the food placed in front of him. That's why he always chose public restaurants, and crowded places where danger was less likely. That evening, he sat alone at a corner table in a luxurious city restaurant, floor-to-ceiling windows glowing gold under chandeliers. His tailored suit looked out of place among laughing families and couples, yet no one dared approach him. Security watched discreetly from afar. Ethan checked his watch. Another long day. Another meeting filled with smiles that didn't reach eyes. The waiter approached, placing a glass of sparkling water beside his plate. And that's when she arrived. Her name was Isla, 19 years old, thin frame, tired eyes that carried more responsibility than youth should allow. She worked double shifts to support her sick mother and younger brother. College was a dream she had folded and placed quietly away, like a letter never sent. Isla wasn't assigned to Ethan's table. She was just passing by. But years of hardship had sharpened her instincts. Hunger taught her to observe. Fear taught her to listen. Survival taught her to notice what others ignored. And she noticed the glass. It wasn't supposed to look like that. The condensation pattern was wrong. The tiny bubbles weren't rising evenly. And the faint bitter scent beneath the citrus garnish, something only someone raised around cleaning chemicals and cheap substitutes would recognize. Her heart skipped. That's not water. Her eyes flicked to Ethan. He was distracted, reading messages on his phone. Isla swallowed hard. She could be wrong. And if she was wrong, she'd lose her job. If she was right. She didn't finish the thought. Isla glanced toward the manager's desk. Busy. Security guards stood far away, laughing softly. No one was watching her. Her hands trembled. She could walk away. Most people would. After all, rich men had protection, power, money. But Isla had something else. Memory. Her father collapsing after drinking tea at a construction site years ago. The doctors later whispered about contamination, poisoning, negligence. Too late. Isla inhaled slowly. She stepped forward. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly, her voice barely audible. Ethan didn't look up. Instead of repeating herself, she reached out calmly, as if correcting a small service mistake. In one smooth motion, she switched his glass with another identical one from her tray. No drama. No explanation. Just a whisper. "Please don't drink that." And she walked away. Ethan froze. Slowly he looked up. The girl's back was already turned. His eyes dropped to the glass now in front of him, then to the one she had taken. His instincts, honed by years of corporate wars, flared. He didn't drink. Instead he watched. The waitress poured the swapped glass discreetly into a plant near the kitchen. Minutes later, the leaves began to curl. Ethan's blood ran cold. He gestured subtly. Security moved. The glass was tested. Poisoned. Lethal within minutes. Ethan leaned back in his chair, his heartbeat pounding in his ears. Someone had tried to kill him, and a poor girl earning minimum wage had saved his life, without asking for anything. Isla's hands shook as the manager summoned her. She expected anger, accusations, termination. Instead, she found Ethan Blackwood standing in the office. Up close, he looked less like a billionaire and more like a man who had narrowly escaped death. "You switched my glass," he said calmly. Isla nodded, eyes lowered. I'm sorry if. Why? He interrupted. She hesitated. I wasn't sure, she admitted. But I couldn't risk it. Silence filled the room. Ethan studied her. You could have lost your job. She shrugged faintly. Jobs can be replaced. Lives can't. Something inside Ethan shifted, something long dormant. Do you know who I am? He asked. Yes, she whispered. And you still did it? Yes. Ethan asked about her life. Reluctantly, Isla spoke of hospital bills, night shifts, her brother's school, her mother's failing health. No self-pity. No expectations. Just truth. You didn't tell anyone, Ethan said. She shook her head. I didn't want attention. He smiled, a real one, rare and unguarded. You saved my life, he said. You deserve more than silence. I didn't do it for reward, she replied quickly. I know, Ethan said softly. That's why it matters. The investigation uncovered a betrayal inside Ethan's own company. A trusted executive. Someone Ethan had once considered family. The truth hurt more than the poison. But it also healed something. For the first time in years, Ethan felt gratitude. Not toward power or money, but toward human decency. And Isla. She returned to work the next day. Same uniform. Same humility. But nothing was the same. A week later, Isla received a letter. Not a check. Not publicity. An opportunity. Full scholarship. Medical support for her mother. Secure home. And a handwritten note. You reminded me that integrity exists in quiet places. Use this chance. Not as repayment but as belief. Ethan Blackwood. Years passed. Isla became a healthcare administrator. Helping people who couldn't afford help. Ethan stepped back from ruthless leadership, reshaping his company around ethics. They met once a year. No cameras. No headlines. Just gratitude. One evening, Ethan sat in a restaurant again. A glass of water in front of him. He didn't drink immediately. Instead, he remembered a poor girl who noticed what others missed. Silent switch. Brave heart. Life save. Sometimes, heroes don't wear suits or crowns. Sometimes they wear aprons. And sometimes, they save the world without saying a word. If this story touched your heart, remember. Kindness doesn't need wealth. Courage doesn't need permission. And one quiet decision can save a life.